So, in some walls, these are the R values that they come up with. So it's important for you to check the R value of these walls. And you see the R value is very high. How do we get the U factor out of that?
1 over that.
1 over that, it will give you the U factor. 2 by 6, perfect insulation. 2 by 6 poor insulation. Wall type, WWR. Whole wall R value. Steel studs, oh, studs are a really bad issue because studs are, if they are steel, they're highly conductive, and sometimes you even see the condensation inside the wall on the studs because they conduct very well. Wood studs are better, but still they are conducting a lot of heat. Yeah.
I have a steel garage behind my house, and one winter it was so cold that the wood stove we had in there heated it up, so it became like its own environment and started raining in the garage.
Really?
From all the condensation. Like you work
Mine-
on a car and you just see it
Mine
start
could drive it.
pouring.
You have creative So studs are very important. Okay, be mindful of that. What is the one way to react or counteract the studs conduction? Since they are steel and the steel metals are usually very good conductors, you can only insulate the drywall. You have before and after and put some kind of solid insulation. Otherwise, it's really difficult. Because the drywall sticks right to the stud. Sometimes they have rubber or plastic between them just to help you counteract the amount of conduction going through it. So studs are also a big issue. Stucco with straw bales, I don't know if that works, like that. Concrete blocks have high conductivity as well. It's solid, it's porous, but you can do something to insulate it. So thermal bridging, that's what we talk about when we talk about the R value. It's kind of like adding resistances in series. So this is a wall, a dry wall. You have drywall, you have studs, you have insulated sheathing for the siding. So this is inside, outside. So in the inside we have drywall. There's studs. Then you hopefully you fill this with something, not cellulose. It's preferred to use bats, like blanket bats, and fold them and put it in place. Sheathing and siding up to the outside. So there is a whole thermal bridging between the studs over here. So this area will be highly conductive, and you have heat going through it more than the metal. So when they give you the R value, they give you the R value of the entire wall with the studs. So when you get the complete drywall, they have considered that there are studs between the walls. Usually studs are between 1 foot or 2 feet apart. 16 inch?
16 on center.
16 inches, you find studs. So when they give you the entire wall, they'll give it you with that studs included. So even if you keep adding value or R value in the middle here, you still have the studs issue in there. So that's why they give it to you as a sandwich and a complete package. Common R values per inch. Fiberglass, bats, blown, or boards, and this is per inch. I don't know if I have some fiberglass here somewhere. And probably you find those also on pipes. And bear in mind, this is per inch on the given density. So you can add more layers, and it's going to be per inch. So you're going to add the R value, then find the U factor. Cellulose blown. This is the stuff that looks like hamster cage stuff, and it's basically all papers and recycled papers, and that are treated by fire retardant because this is complete fire hazard. But it's a way to cheap way to insulate, and they blow it with a fan, kind of like a vacuum like. So wait for it to settle because it does settle, and eventually, if the place has any kind of moisture, they will absorb the moisture. It's a mess. So depending where you want to put it, it's not highly recommended, even though they have decent R value. Mirror walls and bats, blown and boards, they're decent. They also resist water. Vermiculite or perlite, those are actually, they came actually maybe in the 80s or 90s, maybe earlier than that, I'm not really sure. but basically they are small little popcorn-like minerals that are insulating. Expanded polystyrene, extruded polystyrene, blue and pink. These are the polystyrenes. We have pink ones. And we have pink ones. Usually have pink cancer on them for some reason.
What's different people?
Our value material. This is more rigid than this one. It seems to be, but usually they have the properties on it. So now when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, it probably give you all the R values per inch. They tell you also the reactivity, what does it react to, what it can be exposed to. For as far as I know, these are very sensitive to oils or petrochemicals, kerosene. If you put a drop of gasoline in this, probably it will melt. I see somebody in the gas station actually try to put gasoline in a foam cup.
How did that work out?
Not very well. The cup is still there.
Foam cup.
So,
Where were you gonna go with that?
different kind of boards, our values will change, and you can't combine things depending on what you need. So these are common R values. And again, whenever you go and buy insulation, they will come with their own R values. Water and insulation. Again, water is a very conductive material. Also, what's wrong with water? Why don't we like water?
Mold.
And I mean, we love it rots the wood, rots the wood,
Mold.
mold, bacterial growth, corrosion, rust. Also, it will lower your air value.
Makes it more dense.
Yeah, and instead of having air here, you will have water or moisture, and eventually it will rot and deteriorate your insulation. So, what do we do to mitigate the risk of water?
Big barriers.
Which made out of wax, plastic, rubber, asphalt, tar. All these are methods to insulate against water. When you do shingles, you put sheets of what do you call it? Tar sheets?
Ice and water barrier.
Huh? What do you call it?
Ice and water barrier.
Yeah. There's the black sheet you put in there. It's very thick. Also, when you do concrete roofs, there's a layer between the cement with
Oh, yeah.
asphalt or
'Cause-
tar.
Yeah, because the concrete.
Concrete is very, by the way, absorb water. Concrete never completely dry.
I heard like the hardest it gets is like 40 years after it settles.
It takes long time to dry. It absorbs moisture all the time. And another out of subject information. What is the difference between concrete and cement?
I didn't know there was a difference. Does concrete have bigger aggregate in it?
Tracy knows. What is the difference between concrete and cement?
The amount of air?
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not a concrete guy.
Is it the
That's what
water-
concrete guys are friends of mine.
Is it the water to aggregate ratio?
No.
No?
Concrete is what we use. Cement is what we use to make concrete. Cement is a material. Concrete is a combination between aggregate, stones, cement, sand, and sometimes steel bars.
Cement is just the power of that.
Cement is just the material itself.
The bonding.
Yeah, it's an agent. It's one of the combinations that you use to make concrete. And concrete is considered to be composite material, which means it's made out of more than one material. And is concrete solid, brittle, or malleable?
Brittle.
Very brittle, right? So you put concrete by itself, it's kind of like clay. You can break it, it will shatter. So that's why they reinforce it with what? With steel. Steel mesh, steel bars, and so on.
So that's one of the best insulating things, right?
Not necessarily because it's solid. It's insulated, but it's not very much. It does hold a lot of heat.
That's
They
why it's
use-
good in basements.
Huh?
Is that it's a good insulator? It's in the basement, right? Because of that, because it retains the heat.
It's just, I think it's for the strength and for the
Oh,
water
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But again, it does absorb, water goes through it, air goes through it over time, and it's not a good insulator, but it has good structural
Heat
abilities.
up concrete, doesn't it stay hot for a couple days?
Yeah, it stores really heat very well, which means heat goes through it. All right, I think that's enough for today. We'll finish.